Hey, truth seekers and anyone who loves a good mystery, welcome back to the channel. The world is full of unanswered questions. From shadowy figures lurking in the past to strange happenings in the present, some things just don't add up. Today, we're looking into if it really happened, or a massive cover-up. We'll sift through the evidence, trying to separate fact from fiction, and asking the most important question: will we ever know the truth? So pull up a chair, grab your coffee, and let's get going. Hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing mysteries. A disappearance, shrouded in mystery. The unsolved case of Dorothy Jane Scott. The year is 1980, and California is basking under a warm summer sun, but a darkness hangs over the city of Anaheim. A young woman, Dorothy Jane Scott, vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a family grappling with unimaginable grief. This isn't a fictional story, it's a chilling true crime case that continues to baffle investigators and haunt the memories of those who knew Dorothy. Dorothy Jane Scott was more than just a missing person on a police report. Born in 1948, she was a single mother living in Stanton, California, with her young son, described as a devout Christian who preferred the comfort of being at home. Dorothy worked as a secretary for two Anaheim stores, one selling psychedelic items and the other a head shop. Despite the unconventional work environment, co-workers described Dorothy as someone who valued a quiet life, free from drugs and alcohol. Her apparent dedication to her son and her faith were pillars of her life. Months before her disappearance, strange phone calls began to loom over Dorothy's life and were unidentified phone calls to the end. They were a mix of disturbing confessions of love and chilling threats of violence, became her unwelcome companion. The caller, a man whose voice dripped with malice, spoke of wanting to be with her and, in a horrifying twist, threatened to dismember her. Fear became a constant companion for Dorothy. She contemplated buying a gun for protection and even enrolled in karate lessons, a desperate attempt to reclaim a sense of security. The 28th of May 1980 was a seemingly ordinary day that turned into a nightmare. At work, Dorothy noticed a co-worker, Conrad Bostrom, appeared unwell. Driven by a sense of compassion, she offered to take him, along with another co-worker, Pam Head, to the hospital. During this trip, Dorothy stopped by her parents' house to check on her son. A seemingly uneventful detour, it became one of the last confirmed sightings of Dorothy alive. Upon reaching the hospital, medical staff diagnosed Bostrom with a spider bite and treated him accordingly. While Bostrom received care, Dorothy and Pam remained in the waiting room, never leaving each other's side, according to Pam's account. As Bostrom recovered, Dorothy offered a kind gesture, volunteering to bring her car around to the exit to avoid him walking too far. This seemingly simple act became a pivotal point in the case. The hospital's stark fluorescent lights did little to illuminate the impending darkness. Moments later, pandemonium erupted. Pam and Bostrom, waiting by the exit, saw Dorothy's car speeding towards them. The headlights, a blinding halo in the pitch-black night, made it hard to make out the driver. They waved their arms, their voices swallowed by the roaring engine and the night's silence. But Dorothy's car didn't stop. It didn't even slow down. Instead, it sped past them, the taillights a fading red dot in the distance, swallowed by the blackness of the night. A chilling wind swept past, echoing their stunned silence. Confusion turned to worry, worry turned to fear, and fear turned to a gnawing dread. They waited, thinking perhaps she had taken a wrong turn, maybe she was coming back. But as minutes turned into hours, the harsh truth began to sink in. Clinging onto their last shred of hope, they dialed her number over and over. Each unanswered call was a punch to their gut, each passing minute a tightening noose of despair. As hours led into an agonizing night and no word came from Dorothy, a chilling realization dawned upon them. Dorothy was gone. The night had swallowed her whole, leaving behind a wake of unanswered questions and a haunting silence. As dawn broke, the search for Dorothy began in earnest. Hope flickered briefly when Dorothy's car was found abandoned and burning in an alley the next day. The police, sifting through the charred remains, found no trace of Dorothy. Her purse and her scarf were the only remnants of her in the soot-filled car. The discovery only deepened the mystery, sending shockwaves of fear through the community. Then, over the years that followed after, were a torment of agonizing uncertainty. The silence was deafening, the absence tangible. Every phone that rang, every knock on the door, every passing car brought a glimmer of hope that was quickly extinguished. The torment lasted for 4 long years until a grim discovery brought a semblance of closure. In August 1984, construction workers found scattered skeletal remains in a brush off Santa Ana Canyon Road, later identified as Dorothy's through dental records. An autopsy yielded no conclusive cause of death, adding another layer of frustration to the unsolved case. The chilling tale of Dorothy Jane Scott, a woman who lived in fear, died in mystery, and left behind a legacy of unanswered questions, continues to haunt us to this day. Then, sadly and horribly, the torment for Dorothy's family wasn't over. Following her disappearance, they began receiving phone calls from a man claiming to have her or to have killed her. These calls, always placed from an unknown number, were a horrifying reminder of the nightmare that Dorothy must have lived through. The anonymous caller seemed to take a perverse pleasure in tormenting her family, his cold, calculated words echoing through the line. Then, in a turn of events, an anonymous caller reached out to a local newspaper claiming responsibility for Dorothy's death. This macabre confession, coupled with the haunting phone calls, sent a shiver down the spine of the community. The caller's disturbing words, "I killed her, I killed Dorothy Jane Scott," continued to echo in the minds of those who heard them. However, the mystery only deepened when the police were unable to trace the call to any source. The lack of a traceable cause left investigators puzzled and frustrated. Adding to the confusion and the mystery, Pam Head, who was with Dorothy at the hospital on the night of her disappearance, disputed that a supposed phone call from the hospital from Dorothy to her family. According to Pam, Dorothy never called her family from the hospital. So how and where did Dorothy call them from? The lack of a traceable call, and Pam Head's account disputing the supposed phone call from Dorothy at the hospital, left investigators with more questions than answers. The chilling tale of Dorothy Jane Scott, a woman who lived in fear and died in mystery, continued to unravel, leaving a haunting legacy of unanswered questions. The lack of concrete evidence and the conflicting accounts have only served to deepen the mystery surrounding Dorothy's disappearance and death. Her story serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows, the lives that are lost, and the families that are left shattered. The legacy of Dorothy Jane Scott is a maze of unanswered questions, a cruel game played by an unknown tormentor, and a life cut tragically short. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe. Exposing the power in your clicks, just a simple tap, but oh, the magic it brings to life. This is going to blow your mind. Each click, like, and subscription is not just a digital thumbs up, it's a lifeline to the creators. Picture this. Every time you hit like, you're basically sending a virtual high five to the creator. And believe it or not, this small gesture does wonders. It boosts their content in the mysterious realm of algorithms, helping their videos surf the wave to more viewers. And when you hit subscribe, you're signing up for their fan club, and oh, how that membership grows. Creators thrive on your interactions. It's their fuel. Your clicks help them turn passion projects into full-time careers. So next time you hesitate to hit that like or subscribe button, just remember, it's more than just a button. It's a bridge to dreams. And as always, we thank you for watching.